which I think probably all of you.
Sorry.
And so I am the Downtown Preservation Planner for the Office of Downtown Development. On the call, we also have Ellen Hill, who I will be tossing it to here shortly. She is our compliance and training guru. And then we have Ebony Simpson, who is our strategic
Ooh.
planning guru on the call as well. And you'll be hearing from both of them here in a second. And so without further ado, I will toss it to Ellen.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so just a few reminders on like the training front and annual assessment front. January 22nd and 23rd, we will be hosting a training down here in Valdosta. It is going to be focusing on board building and also a little bit of strategic planning sprinkled in there. I know that that's kind of a hot topic for most of our managers as far as like building better boards, how to interact with them really well, how to use them more effectively. And so we are bringing in Deb Turcott with Oriana Solutions, and she was actually at the National Main Street Conference this year as well, doing a very similar, very quick training on this topic. And so we're expanding that for y'all, and we're really excited to have her down. And the link, we'll post the link for the registration in there, but I just highly encourage everyone to come to down here to Valdosta and hang out with us for a couple of days and learn about building better boards and a little bit of strategic planning. So the January 22nd, 23rd. And then we are planning one in Atlanta in May of this year. So it's going to be more on like generational differences. It'll be a full day training. We're planning to have it at the Fox, so we're super excited about that. But what we're thinking about for that one, and I'm still working out the agenda, but it'll be like generational issues, understanding, baby boomers and Gen X and Zennials and all the other generations and how we all interact well together. And so I really highly encourage you to attend that one as well. We have Kristen Scroggin, who is out of Alabama, that's doing that. And when we were in Alabama this year for national conference, she did that with the state coordinators, and it was a really great training. I think she also is a professor at one of the colleges. I think it's Alabama at Huntsville. She's really amazing. I see you raising your hand, Elizabeth.
One of the things that she will, be going into, because I know probably at first blush, like thinking like, oh, generations, like why does
Yeah.
this really apply to us? So she does it as a perspective of like why it's beneficial. So whether it's marketing efforts, like how different generations receive information. So if you're doing one thing, you might be capturing one generation, but you're missing everybody else. Also fundraising, how different generations want to contribute to different entities. Some of them might be more in kind. Some of them might be, just the different ways you need to ask. And those are just two examples. So it's really fascinating. It's just a study on the generations and how they receive information, how they respond to asks for different things. And so it's an extremely beneficial way to kind of masterclass on communicating and sort of advocating for yourself and like setting you up for success, keeping that in mind that not every generation, every person has the same lens that they're looking through when they're trying to receive information or accept, wanting to be part of something. So it's really, really fascinating. We're really excited to bring her in.
Yeah. And then moving on for the rest of the
Ellen,
year, we are going to be doing what?
Ellen,
Yeah.
can I really like hype up Deb? Y'all know I love Deb.
Hype up, Deb.
Sorry. She is amazing, y'all. She's my favorite. Like I've heard her 2 years in a row. Like Main Street America brought her in, I think definitely for the last 2 years. And the first year that I went to her, she did like a half a day session on conflict resolution. I know that's not our topic. However, I'm sure if y'all were there and asked her that question, she would answer it because she's just amazing. And just the example she used when it came to discussing conflict resolution, and just once again, we're all different. Um, um, we're made differently. We're uniquely made. And so she talks about that and just respecting that. And so I just think that she is really a wealth of information. And we have her for a day and a half to ask all kinds of questions. So truly utilizing the person and the resources we have in the room, taking advantage of her in that sense, I think will be amazing and advantageous for every single one of us. Okay, sorry, Ellen. Thank you.
You're good. Anything else from y'all?
So
Nope.
go register now. Woo!
Yeah. Okay. All right, so moving on, we will be planning Main Street 101 in person at the conference this year in Gainesville. And then in October, we will be having our Mobilize Main Street. We haven't nailed down communities yet, but just know we're looking at the first 2 weeks in October for that. In talking about training, I do want to just kind of put this in your head so that y'all are aware of it. But moving on from until, next year, we are going to require all of our accredited communities to attend one in-person training with us each year. We need to get all of you guys who are in the network really plugged into the network. And so it's going to be a requirement, and it will be on your memorandum of understanding coming up when I send it out in May. So just know that's coming. And so if you want to get a jump on training and you want to go ahead and go to the one in January because you think that topic's really great, go ahead and do it because it will count for your accreditation. This is going to be a requirement for your accreditation for next year. So just know that that's coming.
Hey, Ellen.
And then, yes.
Hey, is that just for the Main Street directors, or does that include board members as well?
Just directors. Your board members are going to be required per National Main Street, as well as, all of us to have those 2 hours annually.
Correct.
But just our managers with your 30-hour requirement of training, one of those trainings has to be in person with us. Yes, that is correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we love you and we want to see you all in person anyway. So that's part of the reason why we want to do it as well. And so let's see, assessment check-ins. Let's move on to that. If you have any burning questions about assessments, let's talk about it now. I know that some of you have been reaching out, and that's wonderful, but just remember it is Christmas and some of us are going to be taking off. And so if you have questions or you're working through your assessments and something doesn't look right, or you're just not sure, go ahead and reach out, because we will all be taking some time off around the holidays. Just so you know, also, I sent out an email last week, but as a reminder, all of our communities have these things that are going to be due on January 15th. So you have your online assessment that is due through National Main Street. You have your annual network manager survey that we sent out. You have your monthly report for December that's going to be due on January 15th. So that's a little bit different than every other month because we'll be closing that out. And then your Dropbox and your checklist and all of the stuff. So those 4 things are going to be due on January 15th, whether you're presenting in person or not. Now, for our communities in regions 3 and 4 that are going to be presenting with us in person, your presentation is not due until the day of your presentation. So everything else is due on the 15th, but your presentation is not due until the day you give it. Do we have any questions about assessments or anything like right now that I can field? If not, feel free to reach out later. Any questions?
And also, if you want to reach out, if you've done everything and you're like, hey, can y'all just look at it really quick to make sure I'm not missing anything? Please feel free to do that. We're happy to do that. It is not a sign of weakness. Honestly, a lot of our GEMS communities are the only people that take us up on this. And so that shows that it is not a sign of weakness, because a lot of times our highest functioning communities are the ones that are wanting to check us to check their work. So don't feel like if you ask us to do that, we're going to think that like, oh, they're not confident in what they're doing. Like, we really want to set you up for success. To not hesitate to reach out if you need help or have a question. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And for our presenting communities, if you want us to take a look at that presentation before you give it, like, we're happy to do that as well. So we're a resource for you. We're here if you have questions. We're always happy to field those. There's no questions about assessments for right now. Just know that we're here. And then I want to do a reminder for monthly reporting. Most of you are doing a really great job of getting your monthly report turned in on time. That's wonderful, and I really appreciate it. Some of you do have some missing report, and I will be going through that list probably in the next week or so and sending out reminders and just, hey, like, I'm missing this report, so know that's coming through. But if you think you're missing some or you're just not sure or whatever, you can also reach out to me. But just know that that's coming as well, because I want to make sure that all of your monthly reports are turned in because that's a requirement, but also when we're giving you back your community impact reports for 2024, we want to make sure those numbers are accurate as possible. And so I want to make sure that we have every month covered and all the numbers there. So if just know that if you're missing some, I'm going to be reaching out in the next few days. And that's all I have. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm happy to answer. All right. I think we were going to toss it to Ebony about strategic planning updates next.
Good morning again, everyone. I am so excited about 2025 and what it is bringing. As it pertains to work session planning and creating or updating your work plan, we mentioned it during the last Coffee and Conversations, but I just wanted to reiterate that my calendar is full all the way up through May now. We are now booking through May. But please, nevertheless, we can always schedule like a spring or a summer or a fall work session. It's never too early or never too late to book that. And once again, we can do it at any time throughout the year. So please reach out to me. I would love to work with you in your community.
And then one other thing, because I know it's kind of the probably burning question on y'all's minds. So the director search is still ongoing. We will have an announcement soon. There are, it's kind of in the last stages of that. So just stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have an announcement shortly. And then GDA, any updates or announcements that y'all want to have?
Sure. I don't think Emily's on the call. I think she's on vacation this week. Just want to say, keep making in your prayers, with the loss of their director there. So always thinking about them. But on her behalf and on the board's behalf, I'm just going to do one quick update. Well, first, GDA had a very successful year, and that's all because of you all. Thank you all for your participation, your membership, all that stuff. Membership emails went out recently, so please click on that link and pay your dues for next year. And then I did want to talk about CDP. An email went out this morning. I sent an email out this morning. If you are on this call and if you've taken any one or several of the CDP classes, you can now log into CVIOG's portal and look at your credits, what classes you've taken, print your transcript, all that stuff. So all that information is in the email. If you have any questions, send me an email or Tessa with Carl Vinson Institute. Registration opens for the Tybee Island classes, which are the spring classes. They will open on January 1st. If you check on the 31st, you might be able to register, but we'll be in Tybee February 18th and 19th. And the classes are listed on the website as well as the lodging information. And then lastly, regional meetups for spring will be released on probably end of January time-ish, so that you can get registered. Our locations for spring will be Avondale Estates in April 16th, Griffin the 29th of April, and in Macon on May the 8th. And we've visited several of your communities on this call this year. We had a very successful conference, so kudos to everybody that attended that, and looking forward to 2025 in Gainesville. So be on the lookout for all of that news. We have 2 board members starting in January, and I believe both of them are on the call, Bethany with Blackshear and Jessica with Brazelton. So excited to have them on board. So be watching your emails for our new map, and information on our new board members will be updated the beginning of January. And unless I have no questions, that'll be all I have.
I've got something real quick. So GDA legislative advocacy agenda has been adopted for this upcoming year. That is on the GDA website under the legislative tab. So please feel free to check that out. If you have some issues that are impacting your communities, please let us know so that way we can advocate on your behalf. And also be sure to check out Cities United. They will have the Capital Breakfast, the Capital Connection Breakfast that Monday. I think it's January 27th. Would love to have a good turnout of Georgia Main Street communities and Georgia Downtown Association communities to just, talk about downtowns and really push the narrative of what we're trying to do and support downtown development. So wishing all of you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and GDA's got a lot of exciting things coming up in 2025. So stay tuned.
Thank you. And thank you for Renee for mentioning Newtown. So for y'all, I know that y'all probably know about Josh Rogers passing. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. So Newtown rolled out a scholarship fund for Ellie and Jack, which are Josh Rogers' children. So if anybody feels like donating, I just wanted to provide that link. His impact and his light will be long felt in Macon and throughout the state and the nation. And so our heart goes out to them. And if you feel, your heart being pulled to donate, I just wanted to provide that link for y'all. And without further ado, now comes the fun part of the call. Ellen, go for it.
I just wanted, we've got a few of our regional reps on from DCA. I see Tracy and I see Tanya and I see one more. Who was it? I think I saw 3.
Kathy.
Tanya. There you go. If y'all have any updates or want to throw something out to the group, if you have an office of regional offices, y'all have any updates or want to say anything or just Merry Christmas? Just wanted to say hey to y'all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I'm not showing my face because I'm under the weather, but Merry Christmas.
Cool. I see Kathy too.
Oh yeah, I see her. Or I don't see her.
Now we can move on to the fun. Yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to say hey to them.
So this is again just kind of like our wrap up of the year. So opening the floor to y'all. If y'all have, any questions that you have, that's always a open floor if there's anything that you want to ask, us or the group. But really this is a time to reflect on the year, the wins that y'all have had, the things that you've been really proud of over the course of the year, things you're excited for in 2025 that are kind of coming down. This is just sort of like the brag session for everybody, and we're excited to hear all the amazing things that have happened and are, expected to happen. And then if there's just any cool events that you think were really interesting that you pulled off this year, and not just what we typically think, but promotions, things that got, feed into businesses and bounce back stuff. So this is your time to shine. So if you guys have anything you want to brag about, please do not be shy.
I don't want to go first, but I've got a lot of exciting things.
Go for it. No, we love, if we had a prize, you would receive it. I'll send you cookies. You're awesome.
Okay. So a couple things. You mentioned events. So January 18th, we rescheduled our small business summit. So this will be our first small business summit as a means to try to educate people on all the incredible resources that are available in the state of Georgia to help small businesses thrive. So we'll have a 8 to 12 session. We'll have speakers from our zoning official to talk about how to get a business license, building official to talk about why to get a building permit, small business development center rep, USDA rep. I'll have local lending institutions, CDFIs, DCA, Chamber of Commerce, as well as myself, really just trying to exposure and educate. And we're going to host that at Southern Crescent Technical College, our local technical institute. They just built out an entrepreneurship center on site at their campus. So we're going to have it there as an effort to expose our residents to this facility is now here for you in our community for you to utilize. 2 more big things. Well, I guess 3. I've got a Christmas parade this Saturday. Prayers for me. But that's a great segue because fingers crossed, this is my last event by myself. Got approved for a full-time position underneath me next year. So I will have an events and Main Street coordinator full-time. So super excited about that. If you know of anyone wanting to get into this field, please send them my way. Looking for someone that is passionate and wants to work and wants to have fun. We got a lot of great things happening. And I'll end it with a bang. Got a $900,000 grant last Friday to build our downtown farmers market. So it's a USDA grant, and we have to have the money spent by September 30th of 2025. So we expect to break ground in the spring on our downtown farmers market. We'll have a 120 by 60 covered pavilion, downtown restrooms, concession area, raised beds on site, electric charging stations on site, 32 new parking spots right in our downtown. Oh, I got one more. We had a mixed use redevelopment project approved by council 2 nights ago. That's going to bring 11 residential units and a commercial space into a 1929 three-story building in my downtown that's been vacant for about 40 years. And that's also a part of a historic National Registry application that we're working on to get downtown Thomasville on the National Registry so we can utilize historic preservation tax credits. So we've got a lot going on, but it is all just great stuff. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, guys.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Good job.
It's busy. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I know that's a tough act to follow, but don't be shy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hate to come after Taylor and all that stuff, but I was gonna just mention we have had a really successful little Christmas promo. As y'all know, this year's been rough for us. We got hit with a tornado, 2 hurricanes, a historical flood. So a lot of our small businesses were forced to close down during certain periods during the year. So, of course, in true Main Street style, we did a little R&D from Thomasville's little summer shopping cart. Oh, it's not going to show. So we did one is our Shop, Eat, Spend Local loyalty card. And we started it November the 18th. And for every $200 spent, they dropped it in a cute little mailbox that I had a local artist paint with cute little Santa on it or whatever. And then every Monday we're giving away DVA dollars. And I just want to brag that in the first 4 weeks, just from the cards turned in, we've had over $24,000 spent in our local stores. So that is a win. I love that. Y'all know me and numbers. We don't always work well together, but I'm keeping up with it. And I'd love to be able to brag on that. So
Yes, that's amazing. Yay.
That's so awesome. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Who's next?
Hey, I'll share.
Awesome.
This is Wendy Ingram. Okay, we just did 2 nights ago an event called Merry and Bright Paint Night, and it was in this little A-frame building that used to be a beer store. So when I would say we're having this at the Alpine, I'd get some funny looks. But anyway, we rebranded it, and it is so cute. Like it's been, it had a facelift. It was an Eagle Scout project, and then inside it's pretty much empty. So we did the Merry and Bright Paint Night led by a local artist from a school in our district. And then it can only hold about 16 people, but it was such a cute night. But 2 Saturdays before, we had Santa's Workshop there, and we have a little park behind it where all of the feeder schools in our area, there's about 7 of them, had small groups perform choruses, and then they were performing. Kids were playing on this 1970s old school playground, which totally was so cute. And then out front, we had a gingerbread house contest. So I just told everybody they're making my Hallmark dreams come true. I really do want us to do more community events like that. And it was such a great day. And then inside the Alpine, we had Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and the local FBLA advisor was taking pictures. So it was an opportunity for our FBLA to get involved, for our high school to be involved, and all of our feeder schools. It was a really great community day. So, and lots of other things, but I won't keep talking.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Wendy.
I'm next really quick.
Yay. I was hoping you would talk. You always have such good things going on. So I'm excited. Thank you.
So we did a fundraiser where we got a local artist to draw one of our largest buildings in downtown. And so we started out with doing ornaments, and we're going to do one every year. It's going to be a collectible, but then we also did t-shirts. And so they have like little a Santa Claus hat over the logo, if y'all can see it. But we've raised over $1,500 so far. So and we haven't got all of the money in yet from the stores because we sold a lot of the ornaments in downtown. So we're excited, and we're going to put that back in the community and use it to help local artists, musicians, and do like art in the downtown area. So we're excited about that.
Awesome. Thank you. Belinda, I know you're always chomping at the bit to share what's going on in Canton.
This is a business related thing, but it's not necessarily a work related thing. You'll get it in a second. There is a business in our downtown that financially has been struggling. There is it was a 2-owner, and the owner, she started off, let me back it up. She started off at our farmer's market. And then she took the leap of faith and decided to go into brick and mortar, and she went in with a partner. And then the partner, they were doing so great, they bought them out. So everything's going great. Well, about 3 weeks later, her husband lost his job of 25 plus years. So they're down to her income. And if y'all understand small business, that's not, and they have a family of 7. They have some foster kids that they adopted and things like that. So she had mentioned it to a few people that they were really struggling. And he'd been looking for a job. He finally got one as a bus driver, but they have insurance, that good thing. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, how can we help them? They're so part of our community, and how can we help them? So I reached out to probably around 20 different random people, and the email was, love your neighbor. Let's love on this person. So we're going today at 11:30 to have lunch at this business. And I asked everybody, I said, if you can't join us, bring it to me. And if you feel led, anything that you would like to contribute. And y'all, we had someone that actually made a card. Her husband is in the hospital right now, but she made a card, and we're going to be able to give her almost $2,000 today. I don't think there's going to be a dry eye in the place. It was to the point to where I'm not quite sure that they're going to remain in business. They're trying so hard. They're looking for financial investors, to the point to where they were actually trying to sell some of their furnishings from their home to pay their mortgage. That's how it has gotten that bad. But the folks, I'm telling y'all this because what we do all day long, we're connected to the community and all these people that love on your small businesses. And if you know somebody's just having a really hard moment, if you reach out to them, people want to help. And for us to be able to walk in there, we're going to buy our lunch and we're going to sit around, and then we're going to call her to the table and say, we love you, Merry Christmas, and hand her an envelope that's got $100 bills in there that's going to make a difference in that family, and they're going to be able to feed them. I'm just saying we need to use our gift and our platform whenever we can, and love on our businesses. Some of them don't let you know that they're struggling. And if you just listen for a moment and just linger a little longer in the store, and you really make that connection with them, you'll find out the ones that you really need to touch a little bit more. But I just want to let y'all know, me personally, I don't have a tree up at my house. Girl hadn't had a moment to do it, but that's my Christmas. That is what gives me joy. The tree is great and all that, but it's the giving back to our businesses that is just huge. And so I just let y'all know that you all have a gift, and you need to use it in your community because you can touch a lot of people. Yep.
Thank you, Belinda.
Alan and Elena they had something.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of put a plug in for Georgia Power. Did a retail summit down here for rural areas. It was modestly attended, but it was so good. And I know sometimes it's hard just to take out, but they're going to do another one down here. And I'll let Ellen and Elizabeth know when it is, but I really want to plug it that they bring in a panel, they feed you lunch, and they also have little experts that highlight stuff. So highly recommend it, even if it takes you a couple hours to get there. It's a full day, but you'll be glad you did it. So we'll just keep you in the loop on that. And it's also obviously goes towards your education hours. And this is a good spot to do it. Just in our downtown, we did finish up our phase 3 of our city campus. It's an entrepreneur zone. I know we have storms that come through, but sometimes there's a lot of money tagged onto it if you can match it from EDA. So we finished our phase 3, which is a big deal for us trying to get the college downtown. Our downtown was dry as a bone, but now we've got some bars. They're a little upscale, so we'll see if Statesboro has an appetite for that. And our retail is actually doing pretty well right now, which we all know retail is tough. But these people are providing what we all know is an experience. So maybe that's a trend that's coming. Of course, we're in the Wild West down here with Hyundai. Housing is out the roof and rents are high, but hopefully a lot of good jobs are coming with them. But there's I wanted to plug the Georgia Power Retail Summit.
Yay. Thank you. Thanks, Alan.
And oh, sorry, go ahead, Ellen.
I just said thanks.
Thank you, Alan, and Elena. And y'all, we do our best to keep our ear to the ground to know about training opportunities, just send them out to y'all. But if you ever know of something happening, like please feel free that you think that other managers would benefit from, please feel free to put it in the Facebook group. Please send it to us so we can put it out in the newsletter and get that message out to everybody. We do our best, but sometimes it's just something bypasses us. And so please feel free to share any training opportunities that you know are coming up that you think would be valuable for others, just so that we can help get that word out to like everybody and make sure everybody is plugged into the same resources. So thank you, Alan and Elena. Ellen?
Yeah, hey guys. We have a lot going on in Avondale. The one thing I wanted to mention to you guys, first thing is luckily we were able to add another position, and I have Adriana Holt has joined us on the meeting today. She is our new marketing coordinator for the city, so we're going to be able to double down on stuff. I'm super excited. We are in the middle of a complete street project of US 278, which runs through our city as a main street, and we're reducing the lanes from 5 to 3 and adding a multimodal trail on that with GDOT. So it's a huge construction project. We're in 6 months of it, and we're going to have another year or so to go. That's been trying, to say the least. But we're working really hard with our businesses to try to we're open signs. We made these really cute barrel men. They're out of our construction barrels, and we're launching some more things with them at the beginning of the year. With Adriana's help, we were able to do a scavenger hunt throughout the city that's going on right now called the Great Gingerbread Chase. And we've added 15 different gingerbread people around at 15 of our retail stores, and people can go in and scan those QR codes or post on social to enter into drawings for gift cards to 15 of our restaurants. So that's kind of going on through the end of the year. We're excited to see how that goes. It kicked off last weekend. Our businesses throw a winter wonderland one big day. The art studios are all open, and crafts and music and things are happening. So that was real successful too. The other thing we're really excited about is because of the construction, our Main Street Board, the DDA, is going to launch micro grants starting in January, up to $2,000 that businesses can apply for. So we're pretty excited to launch that. So lots of big things going on, a little bit crazy, but happy holidays to y'all.
Oh. Thank you for sharing. No, that's amazing. I love the barrel men. That's very creative. Just like making like kind of an eyesore into something fun and additive. I love that. Thank you so much. Heather?
Hey y'all. Oh, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I was so excited that the Historic Griffin Hotel has finally opened. It's beautiful, and we're actually going to start there for our regional meetup in April. So Historic City Hall has to have some repairs done, so we can't use our office. So they're letting us use their ballroom. And we're also, somehow Taylor and I seem to be on the same wavelength all the time, but we're doing a business summit at the Historic Griffin Hotel on March the 4th, and it'll kind of be similar. We're going to do round tables with different table topics like DDA grants and historic preservation. That's been a huge, not issue, but controversy, let's say, in our downtown lately, is businesses go to historic preservation and get approved for one sign, and the next thing we know, there's 5 signs. So, and they're like, oh, I got approved. We're like, yeah, for one sign. So we're going to just try to educate them on do's and don'ts. So it'll be, we're excited about that.
Hey, Heather.
We're also doing panelists of success stories. Like,
Kizzy Cakes, she was a baker, like an in-home baker, and now she has a brick and mortar in our downtown. David Fountain has always wanted to have a brewery, and he started at Jailhouse in Hampton, then went to Piedmont and Macon, and now we have Piedmont and Griffin. So that kind of stuff. So like, and the different, Piedmont used the SSBCI to make their project happen. So stuff like that. So we can say, hey, this is doable, and just to educate people. So we're super excited about that. We are kicking off 2025, which everybody's laughing at me because I'm like, okay, our parade was last Saturday. And then I'm like, all right, the chili crawl is on January 11th. So we're getting all that stuff ready now. I really don't you ever rest? I'm like, well, after this, I will rest for a few days. But yeah, just lots of fun stuff happening. I was super excited. I sent an email this morning to our downtown businesses saying that combined, we had 179 events in our downtown, and almost 60,000 people attended. That does not count December numbers. And there were easily 5,000 people at the Christmas parade. So, with 150 items, it lasted 2 hours this year. So we were so excited. I was very, very tired after the fact. So good luck this weekend, Taylor. But yeah, we're so excited about everything.
On an HPC one pager, because I've had the same issue with some of my downtown businesses, and property owners just not understanding the role that HPC plays, not understanding what a COA is, not understanding what you can't do, what you can't do. So I'm working on that this week. I'll try to get that over to you before the end of the month, and you can share that with your Taylor.
Oh, I would love that. That seems to be, and then also, just the different terms that planning development use from like that they are all so confusing. So, we're just trying to educate them. So hopefully they won't, get mad when code goes and writes them a ticket or a warning or whatever. So, but yeah, lots of exciting stuff is happening. FireMaker is finally out of the ground. They ran into a lot of construction issues, but we'll have a second brewery hopefully by summer. And we are doing a streetscape project in conjunction with that. So just lots of fun stuff that y'all will get to see in April, hopefully, when y'all come to Griffin and visit.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Amanda?
Hi. I was just gonna tell everyone, I got this Main Street Director position 2 months ago, and then from that 2 months to all of the Christmas stuff, nothing was planned. So, just trying to scrape by, and trying to make sure everything was still happening in our downtown. But we did the first ever Christmas tree lighting, that turned out really well with like the s'mores and the hot chocolate and carolers and things like that. And then we also have had our first time Santa's workshop for the kids. So that was a really good, we had different crafts for them to do while they were waiting for Santa, then the treats and Christmas readings and stuff like that. And then the Mistletoe Market's a huge market for us. The 9th annual one of that. We had 110 vendors, the biggest one yet for that. And then of course the Christmas parade the chamber puts on, but really it's the city doing a lot of the work. But with a team of one, it's just me, but I do want to give such a shout out to all of the city workers. I cannot even imagine how anything gets done in any city without all of the utility workers, without all of, the different departments really coming together and making everything behind the scenes, happening that they're not getting credit for it, but, maybe we are. So anyway, I just wanted to, just give a shout out to all of the city workers that puts in a lot of work.
Awesome. Thank you. Kim, I see you raised your hand in the chat. And then also Tracy, for any of you to think about maybe after Kim's comment, asked if anybody has any fun New Year's Eve plans in your town. So Kim, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And my video, it comes and goes when it wants to. So today is a not want to. It did yesterday. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited. Wanted to share. I've been here officially just over a year. And so while I did the parade last year, we partner with the county on the Christmas tree lighting. But we really were blessed this year with a great event. We, we really lit up Unity Park more so than it had ever been lit up. And we had a new Christmas tree. That was a lot of work, but we did that in the summer so that it would be ready to go. But the whole event was just, it was bigger than it had been at Unity when we had hosted it not last year, but the year before. And we had worked with the merchants. A couple of them said, you know, we had decided to do cocoa, and some of it was supposed to be adult cocoa and kid cocoa in Unity Park. And so they said, you know what, let's do it throughout downtown. So I bought A-frames, and we created posters with the events and listing. We also lit up the alleyways. So it was funny. We had the wine place. They said we gave out, like, we had over 150 people like in the first hour. Right. So it was a great success, a good partnering, and it was exciting seeing people. We were able to point them from Unity through the lit alleys. So that was exciting for me. It had been that one point where we could really connect Unity with downtown, because that has been difficult in the past. So it turned out to be a great event. So it's been an exciting first year. Our parade was bigger this year. We, have we've connected with Moody. I think some of their squadrons are going to take over for OSIPI because they're wanting to retire. So it's kind of been an exciting first year, and feeling the connections and seeing great things happen. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for sharing. All right, who next? A brag about the year, a fun event they did, New Year's Eve. I know Tracy tends to ask this question because she wants to know where she should go for New Year's Eve. So if you want a DCA visitor, like, this is your chance to sort of like what is it?
I'm looking
Pitch
at
your
you,
community.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Valdosta and Thomasville, because I'm coming back from the Gulf Coast and I'm coming through one of your towns. So let me hear it.
I tell you, we actually were working with one of our downtown, because last year that was my interesting thing. I was like, I can't believe nobody's open on New Year's Eve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we had one of our downtown, how do you say, social places that was going to get together, and we were talking about dropping a ball. And anyway, they spearheaded it. But again, when we got hit with the tornado and then the hurricane and the flood, I think it lost its steam. So Tracy, please don't give up on us. We're going to see if we can't make it. Since we know it won't be 2025, put Thomasville on your list for 2025 and put Valdosta on your list for 2026.
Okay. Lucretia, I was hoping, I know you always have such amazing things. What's going on in Albany?
Of course, we've been tremendously busy. I'll share two things. One, for Taylor, we too were applying for our downtown to be placed in the National Register. We started the application in November of last year, and we received a congratulatory letter this week saying that the nomination information had been submitted and achieved by the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. And of course, the follow-up to that is that you do a presentation. I think they offer those so many times a year. So we have actually achieved that, and we'll do a presentation in May. So just wanted to, I know Taylor was working on that, and wanted to say that's a huge milestone for Albany, Georgia, because we have a lot of developers who are looking at our community, but they were not able to take advantage fully of the historical tax credits. And now they'll be able to achieve that. Also, Verlinda made me think of, we did a cash mob at the end of the summer. One of the things we wanted to do is also do an infiltration of monetary support to our small businesses. So we did that. Normally you see those done by chambers, but we were actually able to get a group of folks to meet us downtown, and we were able to go in and visit some of our retail space and our restaurant businesses as well. So just wanted to share those two nuggets, that something really small and simple that we were able to do in our community as well. I thought about Belinda, what she shared, what she's doing for her community as well. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank you so much, Lucretia. I know it has been a winding road for the NR nomination. And so I know you looped me in a little bit at the very beginning, and thank you so much for sending me the notification earlier this week that you've achieved it. But I know it's a lot of work, everyone, but it's really worth it if your downtown is not on the National Register. It's sort of one of those things to put in place to be ready for development as a resource. And so even if you get like 1 or 2 letters back from HTVD being like, yeah, this isn't quite it, just keep the course. Lucretia can tell you that. It'll work out how it needs to. And so I'm so excited that you have a slot in the next review panel, and I can't wait to hear what comes from that. So congratulations, that's huge.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Going once, going twice. No. Everybody ready to have some time off after all the Christmas events? Yeah. Any other questions or comments for the at the end of your wrap up? No. Well, I guess then we can say our final, it's wonderful to see you in 2024. We can't wait to see you in 2025. Happy holidays. I hope everybody has beautiful time with family and just some time off plans to recover from the last couple months. And if you ever need anything, please reach out. If you need assessment help, reach out. Do not wait till the last minute. And if there's any questions, just let us know. We'll hang out a little bit on the call. So if there's anything that you wanted to ask the team without kind of the big group, we'll be here. So yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And Ellen, Ebony, you want to say anything?
Happy holidays, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye.
Have a great day.
I meant to tell